Some folks call it love, like it can fit into a sound that everyone can understand and wrap our hearts and minds around. A gentle touch, a hungry greed.
Welcome everyone. We are gathered here today to celebrate the deep love that Gina and Dennis have found together and to consecrate that love in the holy sacred sacrament of marriage. They welcome each of you to share this very precious and sacred moment with him. For we know that what Gina and Dennis bring to this marriage has its roots in the love and the friendship and the guidance that each of you have offered them over the years. They appreciate today your presence here and your encouragement, your celebration, and your support for the covenant that they are about to make in marriage. We want to now acknowledge especially families sitting over here, and also those who are not able to be present with us today, especially Dennis's mom, Wanda. And we know she's watching over, she's up there with us, so we send our blessings to her spirit. True marriage is more than the joining of two persons in the legal bonds of matrimony. It is a sacred act. It's the uniting of two souls who are already attuned to one another. And when such an attunement exists, it is right and proper that an outward acknowledgement be made. This is the purpose of our ceremony here today. Gina and Dennis enter into this sacred commitment, knowing that everything they need in life, all the love, all the wisdom, all the insight, all the power, all the knowledge, all the understanding, all the nurturing and compassion, all the strength, all of these qualities already reside within each one of them. They are marrying each other not in hopes of getting these things, but rather in hopes of sharing their unique and powerful gifts with one another. This is the expansive and the creative nature of love itself. So I'd like to share a few words to you too, bride and groom. So why don't you face each other and just listen for a moment. Yeah, you can hold hands. Are you good with flowers? So, Gina and Dennis, this is a very, very special moment. You stand here before your family and your friends and before that powerful presence of the divine, ready to enter into a sacred partnership of marriage. This holy union symbolizes the holy harmony of your souls. And also it symbolizes the oneness of your spirit. This marriage marks the beginning of a spiritual journey through life together as equal partners, sharing the authority and also the responsibilities, bearing any burdens in common, and also celebrating all the joys and the glories of life together. There's nothing easier than saying words, and sometimes nothing harder than living out those words and living out their meaning day by day. What you each promise here today must be renewed with a fresh commitment tomorrow and every tomorrow afterwards. At the end of the ceremony, you will legally be husband and wife, but each day you laugh. Consider the alternatives. So we'll try that again. At the end of the ceremony, you will legally be. Take a breath, husband and wife. But each day you must choose to be truly married. For marriage is the active process of love. To live with another person requires a generous dose of tolerance, a forgiving patience, a healthy sense of humor. I see married couples laughing at each other as we speak. Sharing your life requires courage to face the tensions that arise in all relationships. Sometimes it requires the willingness to love someone when they least seem lovable. Life's challenges, when you face them together, can become a path to greater understanding and to deeper love. Truly living in love makes your burdens lighter because you divide them. It makes your joys more intense because you have an opportunity to share them. May each of you offer to the other what is most valuable within you. It's the nature of love to create. Love is co-creative. And And so a marriage is something which creates itself moment to moment, day by day, breath by breath. Love lives in the little things as much as in the special moments. It lives in the sweetness of your words. It lives in the gentleness of your touch and in the fondness of your gaze. Do you see that with these two? This is so beautiful. Gina and Dennis, may this marriage bring out all the best of who you are, both as individuals and as partners. May you create a marriage that supports your deepest dreams, a marriage that brings more love into your lives and more love into the world. One of the wonderful things that we have to share today is a poem that each of these beautiful beings has written for the other. And so I'm going to invite you to come over, and you're going to go first, Gina?
Because you don't need me to change, because we can just rest in each other's embrace and feel the peace come back after a long day or a long night. Darkness follows light, night follows day. We light a path for each other and can be who we are in each moment. That's why I choose you.
What can I give you, you who've never asked anything but the true pulse of my heart? You to whom I open my life as a tree spreads its branches to welcome birds. What can I give to solemnize, to add my own quantum of sacrament to our joining, to strengthen by one feather the wings of our flight? My soul desires an offering, libations poured to the goddess moon that glows my darkness, a tribute on the altar of the awe that runs my bones and the paradox of our lives mingled, a monument sculpted in honor of the enduring warmth of your spirit's fingers. No studied gift can say these things. Our giving is innate, continuous. The energy that binds us flows back and back again, electric, yet with ease and constancy of summer rivers. It fills us beyond desire and reveals surprising jewels of possibility as we mold each other out of life.
Qualities that these beautiful beings bring to their marriage. And I'm going to ask Dennis's brother to begin. So David, if you can, I'll give you the mic, and you can share to these two and to the rest of us.
Last year, our parents, Dennis's and mine, celebrated their 67th wedding anniversary. Now, to me, that's an astounding achievement, but to be honest, I was so close to it growing up that it went pretty much unappreciated. But Dennis and I, as much as we'd like to emulate that, as much as we know that we have a great gene pool, I really don't think we're aspiring to, either of us are aspiring to it at this point. So, but I think there are things that we can glean from that parental template that are very valuable, and I wanted to focus on a couple that I believe Dennis brings to this marriage. The first is consistency, and we'll call it some steadiness. And I'm not really talking, like in my case and many of us, I'm sure we had to get past that greener grass syndrome. I'm not sure that Dennis ever went there. And if you look at his history, he's given the last 20 years to the same company. He's got some long-term friendships and relationships that still resonate very strongly with him. And he has a very strong connection to this region in general, and Berkeley specifically. He hasn't moved around a lot. And I think he's got whatever he had, obviously, out of his system, but I'm not sure that he ever had anything that needed to be adjusted there, too. So there's some dependability there, but there's still a sense of adventure. We're not talking about boredom. We're not talking about, we're talking about dependability. And the last thing I wanted to focus on was a sense of humor, as you already made reference to. And I think in our case, growing up, it's more of an ongoing commentary of living as it is a talent. Dennis definitely brings this to the party. It comes out in very subtle ways, but in this course of life, when you're dealing in close proximity with a partner on a day-to-day basis, it's as much that smile, that nod, that gesture, in a very gentle way that shows support on an ongoing basis that is important when it brings to the marriage. Donna?
So, I've known Dennis for 18 years. I met him 18 years ago. And I must say that that's right up there in the top 5 of the most blessed and happy days of my life. And Dennis we developed a wonderful friendship, and then that became more family-like. And at this time, we consider Dennis a family member. And that's myself and all my family in Santa Cruz, but also all my family on the East Coast. I have to agree with David, Gina, you've got dependability. And I'm going to speak a little bit about loyalty. Because Dennis and I, in our friendship, have been through ups and downs, some of them extreme. And always we've worked things out, and always we've gotten through it. And we're very, very, very close. So you have somebody who will work things out with you, even when they seem extreme or difficult. I also want to talk about the integrity that Dennis holds. I've learned so much over these years about integrity from Dennis. He's very honorable, and he really acts on his values and his convictions. There is a congruency between what is in his heart and what is in his beliefs with what he does on the outside. I'm not sure I've ever met anybody with so much of that congruity. So that integrity is a beautiful, beautiful, precious treasure he brings to the relationship. And so, I think you two are just a match made in heaven. And I'm so pleased. Dennis, this was really an honor for me to ask me to share this with you. Thank you.
I got the instructions. The title was, "What does Gina bring to this marriage?" As a 4-year-old, she announced she liked the color yellow and that she wanted 2 yellow Cadillacs, one to drive and one to eat. 4 years old. As examples of her love of words, she loves many genres, from Scrabble to crossword puzzles. I predict her mind will continue to grow and flourish and keep on learning. Cribbage, which Dennis also knows and loves, was one of the games our dad taught us as a kid. For several summers when we were growing up, our grandmother, Schomburg, lived on an Adventist campground in Santa Cruz. Grandma would work in her garden and harvest homegrown vegetables. We picked blackberries by the side of the road, and Grandma made jam and pies. Waste not, want not, was something she learned at Grandma Ethel's apron strings. My early memories of Gina was that she was always drawing. Our mother worked as a secretary, and even in those days we recycled paper. On the back of the union newsletters, Gina would sketch, mostly in pencil, sometimes colored pencils or crayons. Her degree in fine arts from Parsons Art School in the prestigious New York City is no surprise. As a young girl, she made her own paper cat dolls. Yes, figures of cats, drawn in profile or full figure, in pencil, mostly with long dresses. And she made outfits for them to wear, including the paper taps which you would find in commercial books. Today, you will often find her in small galleries or large museums. She had a fantastic one-woman show in Hartford, Connecticut in the 90s. She chose to attend a rigorous massage therapy program back east. She has worked successfully with both mentally and physically challenged clients. I am grateful that she takes my son Joel to Bremen classes, which originated and continue today here in our mom's hometown, Oakland. Be warned, she is a strong-minded woman. Learning new stuff. She learned to use a PC computer back east, and when she came to California in 2000, she learned a Mac computer at the retail store where she worked. She proceeded to get a Mac at home, and she is generous in letting her friends and family use it. Or she will look something up for you. She's an expert on her cell phone as well. be sure to get her number. She helped the AAA guy change a tire when we were stuck for a long time. And her cell phone died, and my car battery died when a big boulder came across Highway 880 after I picked her up from the airport. She helped the guy change the tire. Let me help you. Roll up her sleeves, got out, it's freezing cold, dark. Brave. Keeping up with old friends. Be it from grammar school to high school, some of you are here today, from the East Coast to the West Coast, you will always find Gina corresponding longhand or by email, or she'll pick up a phone and converse with many friends. If you go with her to Portland or Los Angeles or Russian River or New England, she'll always find a friend with whom to stay. And don't be surprised if she volunteers to wash the dishes. She'll tell you the truth. In summary, I would like to share something that's very special to me that sits in my house. It was done maybe, I don't know, I know before the age of 10. And so my brother's going to show you this wonderful cat. And I don't really have a poem, but I'm going to name some of the sea things that Gina loves. Coffee, chocolate, calico cats, California, churches, crafts, cooking, cafe au lait, cafes, cities, cashews, crocheting, clients, canvases, corresponding and calling, cloak and dagger, as a mystery lover, critters, children, caregiver, contemplative, calligraphy, saison, casinos, Cape Cod, Capitola, cable cars, colors, collages, cold turkey, costumes, communication, companionship, conifers, crabs, consignments, comedians, choice, cooperative housing, collectibles, conversation, cat's cradle, privilege, and caring.
Gina, Dennis, friends, I'm going to paint a portrait of my understanding of Gina. And the funniest story occurred when I was about 5. For whatever reason, Mother wasn't around and big sister Sylvia wasn't around. Gina said, now I get to be the boss of you. And I said, when Mother's not around, Sylvia's the boss of me. When Sylvia's not around, I'm the boss of myself. And Gina went, no! And that's when I knew that I could get her and make her laugh. We grew up in Glen Park, a very traditional working class neighborhood in San Francisco. We would eat at our neighbor's house, their kids would eat at our house, we would play 1 foot off the gutter, hide and go seek. It was a marvelous city experience. But the most touching experience was Gina was always very creative, and we would do plays in the living room. We'd turn the furniture upside down, we'd put the blankets over the furniture, and she was always, well, let's do Billy Goat's Graph. There's no way to do that. She'd explain it, she'd make up the script instantaneously. And when we were ready, we'd rehearse, we'd drag our parents in, and we'd do this. And this is a creative, this is sort of where she gets our artistic creativity. We both went to Young Haven, danced, played the piano, the recorder, arts and crafts, amazing, amazing studio, and that too certainly helped Gina's artistic creativity flourish. Later, she had a friend, and I was about 7. She said, hey, Phil, why don't you let us wrap you up in a blanket and we'll carry you around in a hammock? So I did. Of course, she gets the hammock, does this. But when you got your brother, your baby brother in a blanket, of course he's going to hit the ground. So she got me back. Then, she talked back, she would talk back. And being kind of a kid, I pulled Bashy's eye out. I knew she would be very upset by that. And she was. But at the age of 11, she got upset and then she let it go. So she showed an amazing amount of maturity, even at the age of 11. She just sort of let it go. I've gotten to know Gina now. She's on the West Coast as an adult. She's a body worker and puts a lot of effort into understanding how the body work is incorporated into the overall person's health. And this is an important aspect of being a healer. She's also a counselor. Older sister Sylvia and I have gotten into verbal spats. She's the peacemaker and brings considerable communication skills to the table. The energy she brings is soft, warm, deferential, and female. In the words of the late philosopher, Colonel Jeff Cooper, a philosopher not often quoted in Berkeley, men's role is to protect women, women's role is to civilize men. Looking at Dennis, uncivilized is not a word that sort of comes to mind. Polished, educated, refined, funny, these are the words that come up. But in Jeff Cooper's world, Gina, you're going to have it easy. Dennis, his role is a little more difficult, especially looking at the economic storms that are approaching. We're all going to be facing 120-mile-an-hour economic headwinds soon enough. But Gina will be very supportive in this area. She's not a high-maintenance person. You go into her closet and you're not going to find 50 pairs of high heels that cost $100. Which, by the way, is what I do whenever I triage somebody's closet that I'm interested in. We go through life, we have life experience, and we try to put words around this experience and maybe pass them on to someone we care about, or to the next generation if we pull their earphones out of theirs. Both Dennis and Gina are educators. They have the ability to communicate and to distill life experience and share that. What Gina brings to the table is she's an artist, she's a healer, and she's an empathic counselor.
So Gina is my mom, and naturally growing up, I was critical of my mother and embarrassed by her. I remember a birthday party where we were all drawing at my mom's art studio. And I said, okay, whose picture is the best? And I tried, and my mother would not grade or say that anyone's picture was better than anyone else's. And what I believe she brings tremendously is a sense, now that I'm older, I understand that she brings a sense of acceptance and love and fairness and cooperation to all situations that she's in. She's modest, she's kind, she's loving. She's sometimes not, and that's okay. Because she is where it counts. There was a period of time where I was young and she began talking on the phone constantly. It was continual, and she would talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and I'm 12 now, so and talk and talk and talk and talk. It was really annoying. And now I understand that she was building community. She was creating community, and she was sharing herself with other people. And she was creating friendships, relationships, and building with all of the people that are here today. You have all probably experienced how she shares herself and how she listens and how she receives you. And I think that's a tremendous thing that she brings to the relationship with Dennis. And I want to say that it's really beautiful
that you have both opened up your lives here in this way. And then the third thing I want to share is the way that the last thing that annoyed me in the past was her modesty. Mom, you would always be, if you ask her the way that she wants her hair or how she wants her makeup or what she wants to wear, I don't care, whatever, it doesn't matter. That drives me crazy. But it also really reflects a level of simplicity and clarity about what's really important. And that what's on the surface and what's out here, what we see with our eyes, is not really what is truly important. And that the beautiful thing about this wedding is that it's, ballooned in a way that they didn't expect. And what I appreciate about both of you is that you've allowed this wedding to enrich everyone here, and that you've expanded yourselves to allow all of us to share in your love and to support you. And I love you both, and thank you for having this wedding together and inviting all of us.
Well, wasn't that fun? Oh, right. A lot of things to talk about with this year. A little bit farther. Stand in the flower bed. Judith has just made this beautiful flower bed. I want you to actually face your friends and family, because we're going to have a prayer and a blessing for these two beautiful beings. And Dennis and Gina, I invite you really to receive the full blessing and this loving commitment from your friends and family as we take a moment before we pray to rest in the silence, to take a deep breath, all of us breathing in together that breath of spirit. Let us pray. Gracious God, Mother, Father God, who witnesses every true marriage and seals every spiritual union, we invoke your blessing on Gina and Dennis. We know you are with them in all their days, inspiring them with love and wisdom, with courage and strength, with faith and understanding, and with prosperity and peace. Let their minds and their hearts be illumined by your divine wisdom. Let their souls be energized with your vitality and life. And let their bodies be purified by your divine essence, this day and always. And for this blessing, we are grateful. We say thank you, beloved presence. And so it is. Amen. So now I'm going to ask you the question, are you prepared to enter into this covenant of marriage? You're ready? Okay. This is good. So I will just...
In highest regard at all times, in all states and conditions, sharing our joys and our tears, and to uphold the integrity of our relationship in my thoughts, in my words, in my actions.
And Gina, take you, Dennis, to be my wedded husband, to love and to cherish, to support your growth in every way, to share my truth with you in loving intimacy, to hold you in the highest regard at all times, in all states and conditions, sharing our joys and our tears.
uphold the integrity of our relationship in my thoughts, in my words, and in my actions.
What token are you here to present to one another as a symbol? Ezra, would you bring up the rings, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Actually, give me that ring back. I want to just hold these rings up first. These are beautiful rings. You have to have an opportunity to look at the rings at the reception. They're absolutely beautiful, entwined, and the Celtic knots entwined. And you know, the ring itself is an unbroken circle, and in that way it symbolizes that eternal quality of love. It's a love that has no beginning and it has no end. There's really no giver and no receiver. And the ring has a way of symbolizing that. I receive you as my wife.
Gina, with this ring, I receive you as my wife.
It is a symbol of my love.
It is a symbol of my love.
It encircles your finger as my spirit surrounds your soul.
It encircles your finger as my spirit surrounds your spirit.
With enduring friendship, commitment, and love.
With enduring friendship, commitment, and love.
I give you my hand to hold.
I give you my hand to hold.
I give you my life to keep.
I give you my life to keep.
With this ring, I join you in marriage.
With this ring, I join with you in marriage.
Now, Gina, I'm going to invite you to take Dennis's left hand and have a good look at it. It's quite a good-looking hand. He did the nails. They're very clean. Turn it over.
Dennis, with this ring, I receive you as my husband. It is a symbol of my love. It encircles your finger as my spirit surrounds your spirit. With enduring friendship, commitment, and love. I give you my hand to hold. I give you my life to keep. With this ring, I join with you in marriage.
Now we have an opportunity to bless. We can touch now. We can't kiss now. Blessing first. So Gina and Dennis, may the light of God surround you. May the creative energy of love uplift you. The blessings of this community sustain you. May you find the freedom in commitment, the empowerment in surrender, and the mystery in the mundane. As you go forward into life together, joined in heart and in willing intention, may you remember to constantly return to the source of your love, that divine spirit that manifests through the Christ nature within each one of you. Acting from your true nature, you serve yourselves, you serve one another, and you encourage the growth of kindness and wisdom in all beings. For this, you are blessed and we are blessed. Thank you, God. And now, Gina and Dennis, before this extraordinary gathering of friends and family, you've made your wedding vows, you've exchanged your rings, a symbol of your lifelong commitment to one another. And because you share this deep and abiding love and have made these promises to one another by the authority vested in me through the state of California and as your minister, I now pronounce you in the name and through the Holy Spirit, husband and wife. And please,
We extend our warmest and best wishes to Gina and Dennis. Gina and Dennis would like to have this microphone available for anybody who would like to come up and offer your wisdom, offer your good wishes, your congratulations. So this microphone will be, as they say in the business, hot for a little while, for you to just come up and take attention and offer it to Dennis and Gina.
It's made of the flowers, which I just vacuumed out, by the way, so I can complete service. So let me know. May I say to my dearest, dearest friend Gina, and the newest member of my spiritual family, Dennis, a toast. And I just think this is such a joyous wedding. A friend of mine passed me coming out as I was standing there with the broom, and she looked at me happily and she said, "This is the best wedding I've ever been to."
A little poem. Once upon ago, there were two mature adults named Gina and Dennis. They met, they dated, they went hither and yon together. They fooled around a bit. They fell in love, they married, and lived happily ever. Peace out.
To my dearest friend Gina, who I have known since '62, and her wonderful husband, Dennis, who I've been able to spend some time in home and out on the road with. And I wish them all luck and peace and happiness and health and joy and prosperity.
I'd like to get a picture of everyone at this table. Here, not mine.
Now the 5 champagnes were all in this area. We had 1 champagne up here. I'd like to introduce you all to the groom's brother, who will be making our toast tonight, Larry. Ed.
So one thing we've talked about a little bit today in many different terms, and many of the things that were said, is about a level of maturity that's involved in the individuals here. And when you get to a certain stage in life, you value good things happening to good people. And it's always kind of a bonus when they're people you love or people you're related to. And those are not necessarily always mutually exclusive, but in this case, they apply to both. In Dennis's case, he's a brother that I got to know later in life. There's a 15-year difference in our ages. I'll let you guys guess which end of the spectrum. But I pretty much didn't know I was alive when he left the house. And luckily, in 1988, I moved here to the Bay Area. Dennis was here, and I got to spend for the first time some really good quality time with him, and found out that, yeah, I kind of like him. And, you know, there are some things to be said for a sibling relationship that begins later in life. I mean, a lot of baggage is there. I didn't get locked in a lot of closets. As a result, I don't have a lot of bad stories to share, but unfortunately, my good ones are much later in life. And I've seen the change since Gina has come into life. It's been consistently positive, and the culmination is today, and I'm very honored to be a part of it, just to be up here, to be invited, as you all too, and to share the energy and share the love. So we wish you the best of happiness. It's an ongoing process. We see it every day in your lives, but we're glad to be part of it. Thank you.
Am I hosting this?
That was a joke.
Okay, so a rabbi and priest and Patricia walking to a bar.
She knows the bars?
Oh wait, she walked out. Never mind.
We want stick.
You want stick? I don't have any. I can't tell you all the funny stuff. My mom walks into the show and I say, so my mom is here in the audience tonight, so I won't be telling those jokes. You want to tell a joke about my mom? Sure. What's your name?
I'm Takashi.
Takashi, everybody!
Gina and Dennis, of course, I belong to the same church. Anyway, one day Gina said, just last week, she said, Takashi, can I invite you to my wedding? I said, of course. Then I said, Gina, now you have a license to do anything you want, legally, without any guilt. And she smiled at me and said, well, I'm not going to tell the rest of the story.
Richard, everybody.
I don't usually make toasts, but this has to be an exception. I've known Gina since high school. I'm one of the people that, even if we had moved thousands of miles, she somehow or other tracked us down and kept the connection, and that was wonderful. Here's to two people who know how to keep connections.
Everybody, Dawn has known my mom since they were in...
Don't steal my punchline.
school, and...
Anyway, yeah, I probably, other than her relatives, I probably know Gina more than anybody here. And I do want to say thank you for keeping in touch. It was always Gina, because she moved far, far away. I stayed in San Francisco. I didn't move all the ways across the street, however. But she always kept in touch. She'd say, oh, I'm coming out. I'm going to see so-and-so. Can we get together? And then when she moved back to Berkeley, you know, we'd get together. And then a year or two would go by, but she always kept in touch. And I want to say thank you for that. And thank you for letting me have your daughter that time she came to San Francisco. She was just lovely, and you're even more beautiful now.
Oh, thank you.
And are you doing stand-up comedy?
I am doing stand-up
Wow,
comedy.
that's great. So here's to mother and daughter, and Dennis, congratulations.
Of course, my wife Alice and I know Dennis and Gina because of their involvement here at Unity of Berkeley, which has been, shall we say, in business for 8 years. So most of you don't know this, but Alice and I met through our involvement in Unity of Berkeley, and Gina and Dennis met through their involvement in Unity of Berkeley. So in about 4 years, we're going to need somebody else. I'd say a couple of...
accelerate.
Yeah, well...
Times are
maybe,
accelerating, so, you know, we could do one a year, we could...
Yeah, well, that's true.
I'm looking, Tim.
So I, of course, think the world of both of you, and Alice, I know, and I both wish you all the love and luck in the world, and if you're not in church tomorrow, that's okay.
Gina and I live in the same housing cooperative, and she is known there as having the best personality out of all of us. And what that means is that Gina is the least cranky. I toast you for that.
Catherine, everybody.
I am very unaccustomed to public speaking, but I went to high school with Gina and Lois and Roger, and and I just wanted to congratulate you both. You're a beautiful couple, and Gina had a wonderful calming spirit during those tumultuous high school years. And when she reconnected with me, as she does with everybody, I was so happy, and I found that that spirit was still there.
My name's Ezra. I've known Dennis since I was 8 years old, and he's been a lot like a father to me, and a teacher, actually technically a teacher. And Gina, I'm just getting to know, but you guys are a great couple, and I think you've got a great future together. So, good luck.
I would like to make a toast to your happiness, and thank you to Dennis that now that you're married, I don't have to take care of my mom when she's old. So, to your everlasting happiness and love together.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, it doesn't have to be just female.
If you're a man and you want to do it too, you just have to fight me for it.
Better watch out. Better watch out. Gina, you're not real good with balls. Remember there's a wall over your head. If it hits the wall and lands in your hands again, it's bigger. Suckers!
It's not your...
Now let me have a picture.
Y'all just hang on a minute, give me a chance to get this one cut.
I guess they explain if they can do it.
Did you get cake?
Hi, it's Di for Gina and Dennis. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so beautiful. Thank you for invitation. It's been really exciting to imagine you guys planning this together and coming to this decision. And I'm so happy that you actually had a celebration and I could be here. I'm so inspired and humbled by the ceremony and your words to each other. And it's just been very moving and touched me in a profound way. Thanks again for having me be with you. Many blessings. Lots of love.
So Gina and Dennis, we had a ceremony, and I vacuumed the flowers out of the sanctuary, and so your flower girl who just completed service wants you to come thousands of times up to my house, and I will welcome you with flowers for the next 25.
I'm Teresa. I've known Gina since 1955. We lived in Glen Park together when the hills were still covered with farms and ran about. We went to a graphic arts workshop. Nobody mentioned that. That was an important, influential place. Learned art. So I'm happy she's connected to somebody.
Great. Thank you.
Dennis and Gina, thanks so much for letting me be a part of your wedding. It was such an incredibly beautiful day, and I know it's just the beginning of your beautiful life together as Mr. and Mrs. And so, Dave, we send you his good wishes too, even though he couldn't be here today. We both love you very much, and thank you for letting us be a part of your marriage.
Hey Dennis and Gina, it's Ezra. Just wanted to again wish you guys a great life together. Everything else that comes with a happy marriage. You guys are a great couple. Hope to see you soon.
Hey guys, one more time, I'm going to be consistent in this. Wish you the best, all the happiness. Very happy for you, both of you, and Gina, very happy to have you part of the family. Good luck.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's put a party.
What were you gonna say?
Hey!
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Gina. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck. I love you both.
Congratulations, Ginny and Tina. Ginny and who?
Dennis.
Gina and Dennis.
The first of many wonderful parties through your married life. And I've already told you, I have absolutely no doubt about the joy you two will continue having.
Yeah, it's going to be a great life. Thanks.
Okay, Dennis and Gina, I hope that you are happy for the whole rest of your lives, and I know you will be. And I hope your marriage is as happy as Bill's and mine has been, because you both deserve it. I love you both. Bye.
Okay. I just wanted to say how happy I am to see Alicia so happy, because I told her, I remember when I was newly single, when my kids were so nasty to every guy that came in the house. And so, of course now, Jean's grown on them and they love him. But it's so happy to see you so happy to have Dennis
and your mom's life. Peace out.
Thanks. I'm Joel, Gina's nephew and Dennis, and I wish them everything they can be and want from each other, and I hope they live a long time and hope they stay happily married. Thank you.
I'm going to eat this. It's going to be fun. Gina, Dennis, thanks. Glad you guys did this. If you want to do it again anytime, let us know. We'll come eat some more great food. It was a beautiful ceremony. Long life.
Great.
Some folks call it love, like it could fit into a box and safely hide away with pretty ribbons and locks. When fear and longing mix together in our blood, pride and anger drown our spirits in the mud. It helps to find somebody whose chemistry can rise above